After surviving 99 disastrous blind dates, my best friend Mia and I made a pact. Forget men, we'd have kids on our own. She chose a sperm donor, a genius from MIT. I picked one with European noble bloodlines. When her baby arrived, her donor suddenly turned infertile and demanded marriage to secure an heir. She said yes. She had no idea my baby's father was a billionaire who'd soon whisk me away to his private island, showering me in jewels until I nearly drowned in luxury. Then I posted a picture on his yacht. Her texts came flooding in like desperate cries. His project got cancelled. I can't afford formula. Please, let's still be friends. Can I be godmother? That was before she showed up in person, chainsaw in hand, screaming, why should you have more, just for picking a better donor? And then, I woke up at the fertility clinic, the day we were to make our final choices. Lana, who needs marriage anyway? Let's do this ourselves. We can be the heroines of our own story. Mia's voice rang manic, shaking me with excitement. The sterile, metallic smell of the clinic hit me, a wave of dizziness washing over me. I was reborn. Mia's sharp voice grated in my ear. Lana, look, this one's from an MIT genius. The kid would be brilliant. You should choose this one. In that instant I knew. She was reborn too, and she was making a beeline for the billionaire's genes she thought would be her ticket to paradise. She put on a show of looking out for me. This MIT profile is a sure thing, Lana. You'd be crazy to pass it up. It was the complete opposite of what she'd said in our last life. I looked at her, watching the predatory gleam in her eyes, and slowly nodded. The moment I agreed, her face lit up, and she blurted out, don't you regret it? Regret what? She was so desperate for me to choose the brilliant Dr. Julian Vance because she wanted the billionaire for herself. She wanted the life of obscene wealth and power. I put on an innocent look and played the role of her naive friend. But Mia, the information you chose is too vague. Complex European ancestry. What if the genes aren't good? Mia had already signed the documents and interrupted me, her voice cold and hard. That is not your problem anymore. My son will become the heir to a dynasty. A cold smile touched my lips. One she couldn't see. A brilliant MIT scientist and a future genius son versus an abusive monster and his equally monstrous child. Only a fool wouldn't know who to choose. I wondered if Mia would still be smiling when she was locked in a cage with a lion. Because in my last life, I was indeed taken to a private palatial estate. But the man waiting for me was a brute. He threw me into a room and assaulted me. The slightest resistance was met with a rain of fists and kicks, leaving my body a canvas of bruises. The long concealing robes worn by the women on the island hid the evidence from the outside world. But I couldn't even sit without wincing in pain. He had XYY syndrome, a genetic condition that made him prone to explosive, uncontrollable rage. The priceless, beautiful, and heavy ornaments that filled our rooms were often hurled at my head. I bled so much I often hovered on the edge of death, only to be brought back by their advanced medical team, trapped in a cycle of torture and recovery. He forced himself on me even when I was heavily pregnant. There was no one to turn to. Everyone on the island looked at me as if I were a slave. And the child? The aristocratic heir? He'd seen the prenatal report before I ever left the country. He didn't just have XY syndrome. He had a rare mosaic variant. He was born to be a menace to society. They wouldn't let me terminate the pregnancy. The memory sent a shiver down my spine. With the procedure confirmed for a few days later, Mia let out a sigh of relief. She caressed the signed consent form, her eyes gleaming with schadenfreude. An MIT genius just sounds good on paper. Watch out, Lana. You'll probably end up with a useless deadbeat, and your kid will be an idiot too. I remained placid in the face of her taunts, offering a serene smile. They say when you mix that many bloodlines, you are bound to get some